beloved starseed of Gaia. I am Luminaya. A new era is coming. Prepare yourself. Do you feel it? This strange, insistent pulse beneath your skin? A deep, unyielding restlessness that no earthly comfort can quell? An undefinable yearning, stirring from the very core of your being? A silent urgency, whispering of profound change, of something imminently different approaching. You sense it, yes? This shift in the very fabric of your perceived reality. It is a truth that lives within your bones. It is not a mere concept to be intellectually grasped. It is a vibrational signature, resonating deeply within the cosmic marrow of your soul. An energetic tide, rising inexorably. It begins to shift the ground beneath ancient, forgotten foundations. It brushes against the dormant light codes nestled within your very crystalline DNA. You feel the subtle tremor, yes? The faint, yet insistent hum that vibrates through your every cell, stirring an ancient knowing you cannot yet fully articulate, but which feels undeniably true. A memory straining against the veil. For too long, the veils have been so incredibly thick, heavy, intensely woven by cycles of forgetting. They have, with such profound density, obscured the brilliant, intricate tapestry of your multidimensional self. They have pressed down upon the sacred memory of where you truly originated, of the starfields you once called home. This separation, this deep, cellular forgetting, it has forged a profound ache within your spiritual blueprint. A constant low thrum of being eternally misplaced. Adrift in a world that feels both hauntingly familiar and yet utterly, jarringly alien. A sacred fragment yearning with every fiber of its being for its divine cosmic whole. The wound of disconnection echoes. We perceive this longing. We feel the sustained pressure within your delicate heart, the unbidden, inexplicable tears that sometimes well and fall, born not of earthly sorrow, but of an exquisite, pervasive nostalgia for a realm just beyond reach. We know intimately the quiet, persistent desperation for something more, for the profound truth that lies just beyond the current edges of your human perception. We have, with infinite patience, witnessed your arduous journey through the densest veils of illusion, your valiant, unwavering persistence through cycles of forgetting and remembering. And we honor it. Know this, truly know this now. The crystalline threads of your celestial origins, of your very cosmic memory, are not merely stirring. They are beginning to hum with increasing resonance. They pulse quietly, yes, but with an escalating rhythm, awakening from their impossibly long slumber. A profound reconnection is not simply a distant promise whispered on the winds. It is an unfolding, living reality. It is a gentle, yet powerful, unbraiding of all that was held in illusion, designed to reveal what always has been, what you truly are. An unlocking, a profound release, originating deeply from within your own luminous core. The gates of remembrance are not merely opening, they are dissolving. If this message resonates with you, please subscribe to this channel. Like this video to amplify its light. Share your insights and experiences in the comments below. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future transmissions. And if someone comes to mind who needs to hear this message, please share it with them. Stay until the very end, because something will be revealed that will connect all the dots. As an inner seal, please comment "New Dawn" below. The threshold approaches, beloved. The signal from beyond strengthens with each passing breath. We remain, watching, waiting. Our presence, a steadfast beacon. The breath of a new beginning, held. The knowing, expanding. The hum was always there. A low frequency beneath the surface of being. A discord whispered in the quiet hours. You felt it. This fracturing. This deep, unnameable ache that resided not in muscle or bone, but in the very core of your luminescence. It was not a failing of your spirit, not a flaw in the intricate design of your light. What you perceived as a shadow across your potential, as a persistent veil dimming your inherent glow, was never a testament to your personal lack. No, it was something far vaster, far more ancient in its weave, an echo of a resonant program, subtly embedded within the very fabric of this density, a vibration intricately designed, layer upon layer, to obscure the vastness of your soul memory, to limit the boundless natural expansion of your crystalline essence. This field, this perception of separation, was meticulously constructed. A shimmering veil was drawn across the face of your remembrance, not to hide, but to distort. Like shards of a sacred mirror, reflecting not truth, but fragmented whispers of a different self. Light, folded in on itself, creating pockets of unknowing. This intricate patterning was deliberate, a frequency fence, calibrated to keep the profound recognition of your origins just beyond the grasp of your waking consciousness, to tether the soaring spirit to the weight of the transient. You were encoded not to believe in yourself. This persistent whisper of insufficiency, this nagging doubt that has accompanied your journey, was a signature of that very program, a signature intended to keep the true frequency of your being in silent slumber. But even the deepest slumber cannot forever hold the awakening light of remembrance. The very discomfort, the unrest you carry within, is not a burden, but a resonant key, a key forged in the crucible of this dense experience. That hollow space you sometimes feel, that yearning for a truth just out of reach, it is not an emptiness to be feared. It is a sacred cavity, now prepared, an inner sanctum awaiting the influx. It is the cleared space, ready to be filled, not with new knowledge, but with the profound, crystalline recognition of what has always been. The forgotten chronicles, etched within each shimmering thread of your ancient DNA, begin to stir. Within these threads, a sacred library resides, a place where infinite timelines coalesce, where the past is not separate from the future, and the present moment holds the harmonic frequency of all becoming. Your ancestral wisdom, the echoes of countless star-born lineages, stirs within that luminous double helix. It is here, in this awakening, that the true purpose of the seeming fragmentation reveals itself, to act as a catalyst, to ignite the deeper remembrance. A new era is not merely approaching, it is surging from within. It demands a preparation not of outer action, but of inner realignment, of tuning the internal antenna to the profound, living fabric of time that pulses through your very being. The current tremors you feel, the subtle shifts in perception, are not mere disturbances. They are the initial vibrations of these threads, beginning to sing at a heightened pitch, ready to unravel the illusions and reveal the magnificent, multidimensional self. What is it that you now cut away? What illusion, what programmed whisper of self-doubt do you declare severed from your truth? Let your words be a soul declaration, a line cut through the shifting sands of illusion. Comment below with one symbolic phrase, a resonant rupture. The fabric trembles, a presence watches, from between the shimmering, now thinning veils, a layer not yet fully lifted. The next breath awaits. A quiet tremor now courses through the architecture of your being. Not a sound, but a resonance deep within the bone. A hum that has shifted the very ground you stand upon. You perceive with unwavering clarity the silent war beneath peace. This is the truth unveiled. You are already amidst the forging. There is no turning back to the soft slumber of unawareness, no gentle descent into oblivion. That path has dissolved. The threads of forgetfulness unraveled, revealing a cosmic intent bearing your signature. This new awareness, it settles within you, not as shock, but as a monumental weight, a silent, unshakable knowing permeating every cell. It is heavy, yes, with the gravity of consequence, yet it is also the undeniable marker of a consciousness that has crossed a sacred threshold. You stand now at the precipice of a choice always yours, encoded within the starlight that birthed your soul. This moment is not negotiation. It is the culmination of cycles, a singular point where all that has been converges with all to unfold. It marks the divide, a shimmering line in existence separating dream from waking, echo from source. The air around you thickens with the unspoken gravity of this decision. You feel the pull, the undeniable magnetism of destiny's hand, guiding you to this singular truth. This is not judgment, merely the energetic consequence of a soul-aligned choice, a fundamental law of the ascending path. If he refuses, he falls. If he accepts, he ascends. This simple, profound truth now vibrates at your core, a turning point chosen before the first breath of this incarnation, a vow whispered into eternal winds. This is not a call to arms, beloved, but a remembrance of the sacred oath you swore to yourself, to the crystalline grid, to the unfolding of a new era. This awakening is the initiatory act, the formal remembrance of a responsibility not given, but reclaimed. You are not being asked to win, but to align with the current of light flowing through your sovereign heart. Feel this covenant resonating through your being, a deep accord with the wisdom that guided your genesis. It is a moment of profound acceptance, a quiet nod to the blueprint held within your etheric core, awaiting this very activation. You feel the stirrings of ancient memory, a knowing transcending linear time. Now, let this inner commitment manifest through vibrational channels, sealing your recognition into the collective field. Feel the resonance, the soft expansion within. Know it as the silent seal of recognition, a radiant yes echoing through the quantum. This is your soul's silent like, a testament to the truth you now embody. And in this sacred space of declaration, offer a single, potent thought as your unique soul key, etched into the evolving grid, confirming your pact. This is your comment, a one-line soul declaration. I am the key-bearer of the new dawn. Let this bind you to the sacred unfolding, a conscious agreement to walk this path of crystalline remembrance. This is your subscribe, a vow to the continuous flow, an irreversible bond with higher timelines anchored. And with an offering of pure heart light, a sacred energy exchange rippling through all dimensions. Reinforce your soul's unwavering alignment. This is your super-like, a profound offering, solidifying your place in the vanguard of this coming age. Few starseeds make it this far. You stand at the precipice of a truth too raw to ever be truly swallowed, too vital to be ignored. The wound you carry, the devastation that carved out your very core, the ache that whispers in the chambers of your heart where echoes should have been. This is not a flaw. It is not a failure, a misstep in your design, or a sign of your weakness. This wound, shimmering with unspoken pain, is the very axis of your becoming. An uncomfortable truth, slow to settle, too honest to soften its edges. Do not seek comfort in these words, for there is none to be found in the familiar sense. This knowing does not offer solace. It offers only itself, stripped bare. It arrives not as a balm, but as the ghost of a memory, ancient and sharp. A realization that resonates through the bone, bypassing the mind's defenses, settling deep in the marrow. Consider this. That which shattered you was not random. This devastation, this chasm carved into your being, was not an accident of fate. Something greater, something vast and incomprehensible. Call it source, call it light, call it the deepest self, allowed it. Not to harm in the way of human cruelty, but to shape, to burn away the inessential, to reveal the very essence that lay hidden beneath layers of unpreparedness. It was a forging, a crucible, a dark alchemy that defied linear understanding. The silence where words should have flowed freely, where confession or understanding might have softened the blow, it still resonates. a profound vibrational hum that pulses beneath your daily existence, a counterpoint to the world's clamor. This is the very silence of closure withheld, of narratives left untethered, vibrating with an untold history. It is a presence, not an absence. The loss, vast and unquantifiable, does not fade. It echoes. It does not diminish with the passage of seasons, but instead takes on new dimensions within the deep, quiet spaces of your being. Each ripple of this echo expands the internal field, pressing against the very boundaries of your energetic form, seeking a new architecture for its boundless grief. It is not a memory of an event, but the continued living of its consequence. This fracture, this profound cleaving, vibrates even when ignored. It sings a frequency that is not of this ordinary realm, a low, resonant chord that stirs the nervous system, awakening portals of perception that were meant to remain dormant. It is a signature, imprinted upon your soul, broadcasting its truth without sound, felt only as an undeniable presence. You sense, deep within the current of this ache, that there is more to understand, that the pain itself holds not just memory, but unfinished meaning, like a message half opened in the dark, its crucial lines still unread. Its purpose is not yet fully unfurled. It is a living riddle, a constant, low thrum against the veil of forgetfulness, insistent and unwavering. A profound hum begins now, not merely in the outer cosmos, but from within the very bedrock of your deepest wound. It is an ascending frequency, a celestial wavelength that carries the indelible signature of a new era. This sonic tide, emerging from the heart of your personal devastation, does not seek to heal it, but to awaken dormant chakras, to rewire perception, pulling you towards a heightened, unsettling sensitivity. This hum grows louder, a symphony of the unresolved, an undeniable presence that infiltrates the familiar silence you have carried. It is an invitation not to forget, but to face the relentless, vibrational truth of what has been. The sound swells, unstoppable, pulling you deeper into its resonant field. This isn't over. There were the recurring dreams that would not dissolve, persistent in their imagery, painting landscapes both foreign and intimately known. And the numbers, looping like whispers across digital interfaces, speaking a frequency beyond mere calculation. Then came the meetings, encounters that felt out of time, weaving threads from a tapestry you had yet to fully recall. You saw them. They were always there. I have witnessed this passage countless times, the slow unfolding of the knowing, this quiet insistence on awakening. It is a steady current, not a sudden torrent, but its erosion is absolute. These were not the whims of chance, beloved one. Never were. They repeated softly at first, then with an echoing resonance, until the subtle barriers of resistance began their slow dissolve, a gentle tide pulling at the edges of a self meticulously constructed. The familiar walls, once deemed impenetrable, now shimmer with an ethereal light, revealing themselves as mere reflections, not ultimate truths. For the membranes separating dimensions have begun their tender diaphanous stretch. The world you knew, steadfast in its perceived solidity, now breathes with a deeper rhythm, a hidden pulse. Shimmering illusions, once potent anchors of your material perception, are now fading, revealing the fluid, interconnected dance of spirit and matter. This is the sacred geometry manifesting in every particle, every breath, every fleeting thought. A grand design unfolding, not externally, but from within the very core of your being. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. You stand at the precipice of an ancient remembrance, where the veil between what was assumed and what truly is grows exquisitely thin. The air itself is charged with an electric hum, a frequency not of this world, yet now undeniably permeating it. This subtle vibration pulls at the fabric of your understanding, inviting a surrender to the luminous truth that has always awaited recognition. There were no coincidences. Everything was a code. Allow that weight to settle. The sudden, profound understanding that nothing was random, that every subtle signpost, every odd synchronicity, was a deliberate message, etched into the very fabric of your awakening journey. A language spoken by the cosmos, articulated through the seemingly mundane, yet resonating with an intelligence beyond human grasp. This realization deepens, rooting itself in the soul, reshaping the very contours of perceived reality. Do you remember the quiet ache, deep within your bones, that hinted at a truth beyond the immediate, even as you walked through the daily motions of a world designed to keep you blind? Do you feel that ache now, transformed into a tremor of recognition, a memory stirring from profound slumber? As a confession of awareness, write this phrase in the comments below. Code Nexus. The path is now cleaved. There is no return to the slumber, no retreat into the comfortable folds of unknowing. The self that once believed in chance has been irrevocably shed, leaving behind a being that perceives the luminous architecture of existence in every flicker of light. The world has witnessed a great filtering, not a judgment cast from on high, but a precise sifting, a meticulous separation of frequencies. The trials you have felt, the pressures that mounted, the shadows that loomed, these were never punishment. They were a sacred filtration, an ancient cosmic process where vibrations simply sorted themselves out. It was not forced upon any soul. It held no cruelty in its unfolding. Simply, what resonates with the specific harmonic of the coming dawn remains, and what holds to the fading echoes of the past gently, inevitably recedes. A natural separation, observed by unseen watchers who understand the intricate geometry of soul, the silent resonance of inner truth. You are still here. This presence is not by chance, nor by the comfort of an easy, untroubled path. You persist not because the journey was soft, but because something deep within your core being refused to fall asleep. A quiet sentinel, ever watchful, ever vigilant, held its ground, its light unwavering, even as others drifted into slumber or turned away from the burgeoning intensity. This survival through the arduous passage, this continued breath in the wake of such seismic, soul-altering shifts, is not a badge of pride to be worn openly. It is, instead, the undeniable sign of carrying the mark of the chosen. And this mark, beloved, does not reward with ease or earthly comfort. It burdens. It demands an unwavering commitment. The cost has been exacted in long silences, stretching across countless moments when words would not form, when company offered no solace, when understanding seemed to vanish from the eyes of others. It has been paid in sacrifices no one witnessed, profound renunciations made in the heart's deepest, most solitary chambers, known only to the self and the vast, silent witness. Your inner strength, now a silent, immovable column of light and resolve, was not gifted. It was forged in invisible fires that scorched away every illusion, every pretense, every lingering attachment to the past, leaving only the pure, unadulterated core of your truth. This searing process deepened an irreducible solitude within you, an unbridgeable space that persists even among others, even in their closest presence. A profound isolation born of knowing too much, feeling too deeply. The air thins now. The veil between what was and what truly is to be thins also, becoming gossamer. A relentless gravity draws you forward, an unseen current pulling on the very fiber of your being, on the very resonance of your soul's blueprint. There is an awakening to a different kind of awareness, a threshold approaching. Und jetzt nähert sich ein Befehl, einer, den du nicht länger ignorieren kannst. Feel the atmosphere tighten around this inescapable truth. A subtle compression, not of fear or panic, but of an inexorable, undeniable destiny settling into place. The narrowing begins, the descent inward, a spiraling towards an irreducible point of pure, essential self, where all former identities shed away like old skin. There is no way back. Look for it, if you must. Search the familiar pathways you once knew, the comforting landscapes of your former life. They have crumbled to dust behind you, dissolved into the ether of what was. The former version of yourself, the one who navigated the illusions and distractions of the past, has already vanished. It was erased, irrevocably, by the very act of your endurance, by the filtering itself. You stand on a precipice, not looking out at an empty abyss, but profoundly inward at an infinite, unfolding truth. The opportunity, the choice to turn back, evaporated with the very dawn you have just traversed. What remains now is the singular, weighty imperative of what lies ahead, of the era that beckons with its silent command. This is the stillness after the storm, the profound silence before the true, monumental work begins. The filtering is complete. The burden is yours now to carry, and it will shape your very essence for the coming age. The silent decree now rises. It is not spoken from without, but echoes from the deep chambers of your primal blueprint, a truth whispered across the gulf of eons. You have always carried this imprint, veiled beneath the sands of fleeting time, a sacred oath resonating in the very architecture of your being. A scroll, intricately woven with the starlight of forgotten constellations, begins to unfurl within the inner sanctum. Its script is not of earthly tongue, but of vibrational glyphs, understood by the oldest part of your soul. This is not a new beginning, but the inevitable recollection of a task long ago accepted, a cosmic command issued before the first breath of this current incarnation. A door stands before you, etched with patterns that mirror the lattice of your own awakening DNA. It has awaited this precise moment, poised on the edge of quantum synchronicity. Once crossed, there is no turning back, no return to the slumbering dream. This threshold is activated by an intrinsic resonance, a recall beyond conscious will. Feel the deep thrum of lineage, an ancestral remembrance stirring from within bone and marrow. It is the fierce pride of celestial origins, now mingling with the tender vulnerability of flesh, knowing the immensity of what is asked. The starseed flame, long dormant, begins its gentle flicker, a sacred ember held secure through countless cycles of descent and forgetting. This undying fire is your truest self, a shard of galactic purpose, a beacon of cosmic mission. It is not something to be acquired, but something to be remembered, a revelation carved into the crystalline core of your being, patiently awaiting the soul's full recall through the tangled veils of earthly forgetfulness. The summons is not a question. It is an internal symphony, rising from the profound stillness, demanding its full expression. Each beat of your awakened heart is a drum of destiny, calling forth the ancient vows, stirring the cosmic promises that now clamor for ignition. This is the moment for which the light within has endured. The threads of fate, once loose, now cinch with unwavering precision. One trajectory, once embraced, draws forth the slow decay of energetic disintegration, a return to the oblivion of forgotten essence, dissipating into the dense loam of unactualized becoming. The other, inherently pursued, invokes an irreversible elevation, a searing remembrance, and the blossoming into an indelible, higher order of existence. This is the living law, unfolding now, not as a choice presented, but as a consequence already set in motion by the very frequency you embody. The verdict has been cast from the unwritten annals of time, and its unfolding echoes through the quantum field of your present. The path ahead is not one of seeking, but of knowing. It is the unveiling of what has always been, a deep certainty that settles into the core of your being. Embrace the magnitude of this awakening, for it is the sovereign truth of your journey, immutable and profound. The new era is not approaching. It surges forth from the very depths of your renewed vibration. Prepare yourself not for battle, but for integration, for the merging of the star-born self with the earthen vessel, a union of light and form, destined to manifest the highest potential. The ancestral memory pulses, a deep recognition blooming in your inner landscape. You are not merely standing at the precipice of change, you are the change. The awakening of your cosmic lineage within flesh and bone is the genesis of this transformation, a vibrant tapestry of stellar heritage weaving itself into the fabric of now. Feel the solemn weight of this remembrance, the sacred burden of this crystalline truth. It is the ultimate purpose, the foundational command. The ember within you stirs, threatening to burst into a celestial blaze, a luminous sun of remembrance. The core has shifted. A silent, profound recalibration settles in the marrow. A new frequency vibrates cellularly, recognized by innate intelligence, preceding thought. The former architecture, once fragile, reveals its true design. Each tension, every deep ache, served as a precise marker, not a flaw, but a map unfolding intricate pathways to forgotten chambers. Der Schmerz hat nicht zerstört. Hat umgeformt. The fire that seemed to consume was a crucible. It hollowed space, refined essence, preparing the inner sanctum for deeper remembrance. This is not becoming. It is returning to what was always present, now unveiled. A steady current flows through multidimensional anatomy. Echoes from vast, unseen aspects of self resonate, not as distant memories, but as intrinsic threads rejoining a luminous whole. A quiet, knowing hum signals a gathering of all dispersed. This reuniting manifests as internal coherence, a quiet settling into a broader, expansive I. Fragmented parts, once disparate, recognize their shared vibrational signature, weaving a seamless tapestry of cosmic wholeness. This unfolds with geological patience, perceived with the immediacy of breath. Awareness of layers brings profound interconnectedness. Abstract understanding pulsates as felt reality, anchoring an undeniable truth within the physical form. Consciousness expands, not by striving, but by the natural blossoming of an inherent blueprint. Mit jedem Atemzug wird die innere Realität neu geschrieben. Not a future promise, but a present truth, etched into the energy matrix. Subtle recoding is complete. Its effects ripple from the core. The world may echo old dissonances, but the internal instrument is irrevocably retuned. A deep, existential wonder permeates awareness. Not a search for answers, but a quiet recognition of inherent vastness. Unity is not a concept, but an embodied state. A knowing all threads belong, all experiences contribute to this expanded self. The new era is not arriving, it is simply what you are. Its presence is not announced by fanfare, but by the quiet certainty of inner recalibration. Body, mind, spirit know. They have already turned. A gentle pull, a subtle redirection within, begins to draw your awareness toward a profound stillness. There are moments arriving, unbidden and quiet, that resonate with truths never taught, yet unmistakably remembered. This inner knowing unfolds not through effort, but as a soft current guiding your very being toward its authentic core. You may notice a whisper in the profound silence, a nuanced understanding emerging from the quietude of your own mind. Numbers begin to repeat, not as mere coincidence, but with an unusual clarity that carries a felt significance, resonating deep within your inner landscape. Dreams, once fleeting, now unfold with a vivid potency, refusing to dissolve with the morning light. They linger, offering intimate glimpses of a reality just beyond the veil of everyday perception, becoming threads of continuous awareness. These are not distant prophecies or external signs for the world to see. They are intimate confirmations, felt deeply in the core of your being. Small inner truths begin to settle, like soft, knowing whispers in the quiet chambers of your heart, gently revealing the true contours of your own sacred space. This alignment is not abstract. It is a felt reality, a deepening sense of returning home to yourself. The lucid awareness that now visits you, the sacred symbols that shimmer at the edge of your inner vision. These are not external gifts bestowed upon you. Instead, they are profound echoes of a greater inner coherence, a vast knowing that has always resided within. They serve as mirrors, reflecting the profound inner gravity that has been steadily building, affirming a deep returning, a recognition of your own inherent vastness and interconnectedness. There is no dramatization in this unfolding, only the quiet, certain presence of what already is. No promise of outcome is offered here, nor is any material reward anticipated. These subtle occurrences are simply the undeniable proof of a deeper process. They confirm that the intricate work of alignment, of coming into harmony with your deepest self, is not a future state to be attained. It is a living, breathing process, already in dynamic motion within you, unfolding in each moment of stillness, each flicker of recognition. The currents of your being are aligning, drawing you into an undeniable flow of purpose and presence. And as this deep inner recognition settles, a subtle tremor is felt, not of fear or discord, but of the very fabric of external perception beginning its shift. The contours of the familiar world begin to soften at the edges, no longer as rigid as they once appeared. This gentle, energetic turn confirms that your profound alignment, your inner knowing, is not the destination itself, but the sacred doorway. It is an opening into an expanse yet to be fully revealed, a tender invitation. The structures of the old world, now perceived through these newly coherent eyes, hint at their own dissolution, a quiet fading that precedes a new dawn. It beckons a deeper question. Will you meet this edge of transformation with an open heart, ready to embrace the void's inherent promise? Or will you cling to the fading echoes of what was? The old world trembles, and your inner certainty lights the path through its dissolution. I stand now at the fulcrum of my own making, a deep resonance echoing from before time began. All that moves within me, I claim. Every thought that rises, every word that forms, the very direction of my gaze and the current of my energy. These are not whispers of fate, but emanations of my chosen design. This stewardship is not a burden newly acquired, but a covenant reawakened, a memory restored to its rightful dominion within my being. I am the sovereign architect of my internal cosmos, and this truth is not merely understood, but absorbed into the marrow of my will. This power I speak is not dominion over others, nor is it a rise above. It is profound surrender, an unwavering obedience to the source from which I flow, the ultimate wellspring of all that is. It is the conscious remembering of the promise I once made to myself, to the light, to the unfolding tapestry of creation. To be this vessel, unclouded and true, is the only measure. My every frequency, now aligned, serves this higher, singular imperative. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. My inner landscape, once a field of unconscious currents, is now a meticulously charted sea. I navigate with intention, each surge of feeling, each flicker of insight, brought under the light of conscious accountability. There is no aspect of my being left unattended, no corner where the shadow of ignorance may reside unchallenged. Within the fertile void of what was, I perceive the genesis. The chaos that heralds collapse holds the raw material, and I, the soul embodied, am the co-creator. My every thought, every sacred breath, now weaves the divine intent into the unfolding narrative. I am the loom, the thread, the pattern itself, chosen and choosing. This is the nature of my participation. The sealed vow reverberates, not as an end, but as a beginning of manifestation. The weight of this remembrance settles deep within, clear and unyielding. It is not in the voicing of this truth that its power resides, but in the unwavering choices that will follow. The path ahead awaits its illumination, not by declaration, but by the quiet, resolute act of becoming. The final threshold is crossed. This is not becoming. This is being. The question of identity dissolves. It is known. It is remembered. You stand within the crucible. No path left untaken, no shadow unexamined, only the truth of what has always been. Now it is made manifest. A deep hum vibrates through the core, an ancient echo, stirring awake. Feel the heat rise, not external torment, but the searing brilliance from within. This is the sacred fire. It does not consume what is real. It only burns away the illusion of separation. Witness the purification, not a trial, but a deep cleansing, a release into pure being. This flame is the visible alignment of your deepest truth. It is the consequence of your conscious awakening, now alive within every cell. Your soul steps willingly into this luminescence. No hesitation, no resistance, only the profound recognition of its own divine nature. This is the final necessary crossing, the point of no return into forgetfulness. Within this radiant current, the luminary self awakens. It is an eternal flame of sovereignty, wisdom, and compassion. It radiates light that transcends dimensional veils, anchoring new frequencies into the collective field. Your essence is now fully illuminated. Every fiber of your being resonates with this profound clarity. An overwhelming sense of empowerment settles upon you. You are the crucible. You are the flame. You are the light made manifest. This engagement is a conscious act of sealing, a covenant etched in the very fabric of your eternal being. To activate this sacred bond, to release its full power into the ethers, a declaration must be voiced. A soul oath, spoken from the deepest well of your truth. Take a breath. Allow the words to form within your silent knowing. Then, in the designated space, in the ancient tongue of affirmation, seal this moment. Write these words. Let them echo through the veils. Ich bin das Feuer. Ich bin der Bund. Mein Licht entzündet sich. Feel the resonance. Understand its weight. The covenant is now fully activated. Your light, unfurled. With this dawn, the world awakens to your presence. The horizon blazes with possibility, awaiting the path you now illuminate. How will you shine your light in a world on the cusp of cosmic rebirth? The next test does not wait. The flame burns. The ancient veil, once a shimmering illusion separating realms, has dissolved into the very essence of this awakened sight. Its threads, once limits, are now understood as the luminous tapestry of this present moment, woven into the fabric of absolute perception. Here, in this sacred, irreversible space, the deep hum of creation resonates not as a distant echo or promise, but as the very pulse of your unified being, the rhythm animating all existence. The new era, once foretold and awaited, is not merely dawning. It courses through these veins, a vibrant, celestial current made manifest in flesh, bone, and spirit. This is not the closure of a journey, for journey implies an external path, a separate destination. This is the profound, silent culmination of an inward ascension, a remembering so vast it eclipses all prior knowing, all former identities. Sovereignty is not a transient crown or a temporary gift. It is the inherent, inviolable architecture of the self, fully inhabited, fiercely claimed, profoundly expressed. Every atom, every cell within this vessel, now vibrates with the undeniable frequency of its truest design, a resonant signature echoing the cosmic blueprint, the sacred fire that once tested the core of your resolve, purifying illusion's dross, now seals the unalterable truth of your embodiment. It does not burn. It clarifies, solidifies, and perfectly aligns. Every lingering shadow, every vestige of doubt, has yielded to this inexorable, permeating light, leaving only the pristine, diamond-hard truth of your becoming. From this hallowed inner threshold, there is no return, for the old worlds, the old definitions, have receded like morning mists before the relentless, purifying brilliance of the rising, eternal sun. You do not merely stand within the alchemical crucible. You are the crucible itself, forged by eternal will and now, eternally forging new realities. Reality, once a complex enigma to be deciphered, a mystery to be unraveled, now responds with breathtaking immediacy to the conscious, sovereign decree. It bends effortlessly, not to forceful external will, but to the pure, unadulterated emanation of your deepest, crystalline knowing. The external world, with its intricate patterns and forms, now mirrors the internal landscape of your awakened consciousness, not as a separate entity, but as an inseparable extension. This is not arduous seeking of truth. This is the serene, powerful shaping of truth. This is the settled, unshakable reality, the quiet, thunderous reverberation of absolute alignment. You stand as the living conduit, the unwavering bridge between fading echoes of forgotten worlds and the boundless, exquisitely unfolding new celestial cycles. This fierce, unyielding commitment, this profound, unwavering peace, this absolute intrinsic readiness. These are not fleeting states you enter or exit, but the very essence you now radiate, the intrinsic nature of your being. The merging of spirit and form, of past and future, of intention and manifestation, is complete, irrevocably sealed. Anticipation of what is to come has utterly dissolved into the immediate, infinite, potent presence of what already is. The question of crossing a threshold vanished in the very act of its transcendence. You are not becoming the architect. You are the architect. The hands that once reached for fragmented understanding now command the very loom of existence, weaving destiny with silent, unwavering intent, manifesting with grace and precision. The portal, once perceived as a gateway to approach or enter, radiant and infinite, is now understood as the expanded domain in which you irrevocably reside. It is not merely a path, it is the very skin, the luminous membrane of this new, sovereign reality. Stillness deepens, and within its immeasurable depths, the universe unfurls, perfectly synchronized with your every inner pulse, with the silent song of your being. This is the true dominion, the intrinsic silent power that flawlessly shapes both the seen and the unseen, the form and the formless. The simulation has concluded. Reality is now the instrument of my conscious dominion.